Is this a second device on West 27th Street? We know the one on West 23rd Street has already caused significant damage to people, buildings, cars, shut down that entire area. We're hearing about subway interruptions, lots of chaos. Let's listen in.
It was an intentional act. We're going to have a lot more to say in the coming hours as we have more detailed analysis, but we believe at this point in time this was an intentional act. I want to assure all New Yorkers that the NYPD and all other agencies are at full alert, and that our anti-terror capacity in particular is at full alert, our critical response command and our other key units, our strategic response group, our emergency services unit, all are on alert and all are dealing with this situation and being vigilant all over the city at this point in time. And we have in this city the most advanced anti-terror capacity of any city in this country, and obviously the largest police force of any city in the country, all ready to ensure our safety. Now, I want to be clear, whatever the cause, whatever the intention here, New Yorkers will not be intimidated. We are not going to let anyone change who we are or how we go about our lives. And we have the best police force in the country and a number of other key agencies, FDNY, OEM, etc., making sure we will be safe. We are at this point, of course, tracing every lead and every potential. It's too early to give you any details of the investigation because it has just begun over the last few hours. So I want to say up front, we're not going to go into a lot of detail about what we're finding so far in the investigation. That will take certainly more hours before we can give you more. But we do want to urge all New Yorkers, anyone who may have information related to this incident, anyone who is an eyewitness, anyone who may have video, the NYPD needs that. Please reach out immediately if you have any information that we can use. Call 1-800-577-TIPS. 1-800-577-TIPS if you have any pertinent information. Finally, a second site as we speak is being treated by the NYPD. It is 27th Street between 6th and 7th Avenues. There's an investigation underway and a substantial NYPD presence on that street, and that street has been cleared as this investigation continues. With that, I want to turn it over to Commissioner James O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So at approximately 8:30 this evening, officers from the 10th Precinct were on patrol driving westbound on West 23rd Street when they witnessed a large explosion in front of 131 West 23rd Street. The officers immediately called for additional units and ambulances. The NYPD bomb squad and the FBI Joint Terrorist Task Force were requested to respond. As of this time, the exact cause of the explosion has not been determined. Investigation into this incident is active, and at this time, an extensive search is being conducted. As the mayor spoke, there's an ongoing situation on 27th Street right now. The area around the explosion site is being treated as a crime scene. As of this time, there is no evidence to indicate that this explosion is a result of any natural gas cause. Again, the exact nature and cause of this explosion has not yet been determined. As of the most recent information, there have been 29 injuries reported. One of these injuries may be considered serious, and Commissioner Nigro will talk about that in a couple of minutes. The fire department is currently assessing the extent of any possible structural damage resulting from this explosion. And as further information is developed, we will provide it and give you updates. Commissioner Nigro?
Well, our units heard this actually from their locations and joined the NYPD members on the scene, searched the buildings that were affected, and as Commissioner O'Neill said, there were 29 injuries here, one considered serious. 24 of these people have been transported to area hospitals with various degrees of scrapes, abrasions from glass, from metal. Thankfully, none of these are life-threatening injuries, and the 24 patients that have been removed are not in a serious condition, other than the one patient with a puncture wound.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Okay, we will take your questions
Was
now.
there a bomb in a dumpster, Mr. Mayor?
Again, it's too early to determine specifically what the incident was caused by. What we're telling you this evening is we believe it was intentional. A full investigation is underway. As soon as we're able to determine what specifically caused this explosion, we're going to report that to you.
Was there
Go ahead, you're calling? Go ahead.
Josh. Thank you. Mayor, you said that you don't believe at this point that there's a nexus to terrorism. Can you elaborate on what makes you?
Very broadly, I'm going to stay broad on that point, and Commissioner O'Neill will jump in at any point. Because we have no credible and specific threat, because there is nothing specifically linking what we've seen so far of this site to anything that suggests terrorism. But it's preliminary information. We just want to assure New Yorkers, based on what we know at this moment, we do not see a link to terrorism. This is going to be an ongoing investigation.
Right over here. Sir, do we see any connection between the timing of these incidents and the United Nations General Assembly?
It's too early to say.
Right over here. Right over here. Right over here to the left.
Mr. Mayor, if the explosion at least was outside on the street, or did it come from inside the building?
He wants to get
Sure. Right now, preliminarily, it appears that the explosion was outside on the street. And if anyone's got it, hold on one second. Hold on. Right now, it appears that the explosion took place outside on the street. And if anybody's got any information, they need to call 1-800-577-TIPS.
Aaron Katersky. Hold on. Aaron Katersky.
Commissioner, you have this on video. What does the surveillance video show you, and how does it inform what you're telling us?
We do have video, and we see the explosion, and we're going to use that to help us in our investigation. Next.
Are people still evacuated from buildings? Are people allowed back in? It was in front of the building with a bond, right?
Yeah, McGee, at this point, there's no need to evacuate anybody from that building. Right? And we do have traffic. We do have streets closed from 14th to 32nd Street, from 5th to 8th, and that's just for traffic reasons.
Commissioner, how about the second possible IED that was found between 6th and 7th?
On 27th Street, we're still investigating that right now.
It was an IED.
Miles, right over here.
being
Miles.
investigated.
Can you talk about I know you've got significant surveillance video that you've got to turn over. Can you talk about anything you may see of anybody walking away from where this incident happened? Looking at anybody specifically yet?
Yeah, at this point, we are not, and we are in the process of collecting more video.
Right here.
You're going to have to get the helicopter. You're going to have to speak up a little bit.
We haven't said that.
No, we haven't said that. Right? We said that so far at this point the investigation wasn't caused by natural gas. And we do think it was an intentional act, but this is all part of the investigation.
We have reports right here.
Were
Hold
they
on.
pipe bombs? Like the one in New Jersey, pipe bombs? What kind of device?
It's too early to tell in the investigation. This happened about less than 3 hours ago.
Right down in
We have
front.
reports of a suspect in question around 27th Street. Can you confirm that anyone's been arrested or not?
As far as I know right now, no one. We're actively investigating the secondary device on 27th
Take a couple
Street.
more questions here. Right here.
Is there some sort of device? What kind of object did you detect or see or witness or find?
We're not going to go into that right now. As I said, we're in the very early stages of investigation.
Was it in a police?
Hold on, Lester.
The 27th Street location, it seems like that would have been outside the area you initially secured. So what's the assessment of the overall area? Are these street corners clear?
Lester, that's the process, right? We have the initial location, and part of what we do, we look for secondary devices. We start where the incident happens. We move north, south, east, and west as far as we need to.
That's still happening.
One more
Yes, it is.
question. One more question. We'll come back and update you. Right here.
We spoke to that.
Was it a crash can, a dumpster? What actually exploded?
We're still in the process of trying to figure out where the initial part of the explosion was.
Mr. Mayor,
We'll have an
please.
update.
Thank you. We'll be back.
We'll have an update soon.
We'll be back to
Thank
update
you.
you. We'll be back to update you.
Wait,
Thank
have
you.
you placed the city
We'll
on
be
alert?
back to update you.
There's no
A lot of new information coming out of that press conference with Mayor de Blasio and the new police commissioner, James O'Neill, also the assistant director of the FBI, whose crew is also investigating what happened here in Chelsea, this explosion. We now know 29 people were injured. Mayor de Blasio called this an intentional act. He says the area around the explosion there on West 23rd Street near 6th Avenue is being treated as a crime scene. He said 24 people were taken to the hospital, and he said one of the 29 injuries appears to be very serious. We're going to